This is my 2006 Subaru Baja Turbo. It's an automatic, got about 115,000 miles on it, and every time I drive it, whether it's to a car meet, or to get groceries, or run errands, or whatever, I always get questions on either, what is that car? Or, hey, why did Subaru stop making that? And I never really had a good answer, so I started doing some research and trying to figure out why Subaru doesn't make the Baja anymore. And I know they didn't sell a whole lot, but it's always been a question that doesn't really seem to have any good set of answers out there. So I did a little more digging and kind of came up with my own theories. Feel free to interject or leave a comment or whatever if you think I'm off on something, but the Baja seemed like it was doomed from the start. This car was released in 2002 as a 2003 model, and they went all the way until 2006 before they finally nixed them. You could argue that they sold them in 2007 as well, but I think those were just rebranded 2006 models that just didn't sell. So the Baja, when it first came out, I remember the commercials for it. There was this, there was a stock photo of a Baja with a white background, and they had all these different like things that they were loading in the back. They were making a big deal that it was kind of like an Outback, but now you could store things without the limitation of a roof. They had all these crazy tall things they could fit back there. I think one of them was even like an oversized teddy bear. It's like, oh yeah, everyday things that you totally need to take home all the time that would be useful to have a Baja for. And I also remember in that commercial of the color being hideous to me. Now some people like it, but picture the Baja with yellow, and then instead of yellow all the way through, have it be yellow and silver two-tone with the armor kind of body cladding around the bottom edge and the bumpers being silver. I haven't talked with too many folks that actually like that color combination, and I'm willing to bet that at the time of release it wasn't very well received either. So strike one against the Baja right in its debut as your flagship vehicle that you have in the commercials is kind of weird. Like a little too weird. Tie in the fact that now you've got it in this kind of truck, crew cab, tiny all-wheel drive thing. And it's kind of a jack of all trades and a master of none. You can fit 4 people in here, but in an Outback or a Legacy, there's also a third seat for 5 people. Granted, it's kind of small, but still, you lose a seat. You can fit stuff in the truck bed in the back, but it's kind of tiny. You can't do a whole lot with it back there. You can fold down the tailgate and fold down the inside like Transformer style and change it all up. But at the end of the day, it's still not quite big enough to do maybe what some people were hoping that a truck traditionally could. And then you've got the fact that this Baja is already outdated the second it rolls off the line. And what I mean by that is, in 1999, the 2000 year Legacy and Outback were released. And this is based on that same platform. Outside of the radical new exterior with the little silver bars and truck bed and funky colors, it's the same car in here. And Subaru is already a pretty conservative company. They're more on the function instead of form kind of thing. So you put that kind of, well, it can pass for new in 2000 2001, but as the years go on and car designs get better and nicer and newer, it already looks old. And so to put that in a new car was kind of and the people that would be drawn to a car with yellow and silver have got to be into some pretty funky designs. And so you see the exterior with that crazy kind of coloring and shape and size and all that, and you get inside and it's kind of blah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but there's something wrong with the exterior, or right, depending on how you look at it. So they kind of messed up even their target demographic of being those weird adventure-loving, kind of out there thinking folks, giving them this bland interior. Now I get why, because it is still an Outback or Legacy, and they all share parts, and I get that, but they could have done something in here to spice it up. It just feels a little gray and plastic. So then the next thing that was kind of hurt the first year for the Baja was it only had one engine option, which normally isn't a big deal, but the one engine option was a single overhead cam, 2.5 liter, 4-cylinder boxer, developing just over 160 horses. And you put that in a car that weighs 3,600 pounds with 8.4 inches of ground clearance, and it can struggle. It is not the most eager beaver to drive. The following year, they remedied that by giving you an option for the Baja Turbo, which this car has. Roughly 230 horses, I think. Plenty of pep in this car. Fun to drive. Not over the top fast, not like WRX fast, but plenty. And I think missing that turbo option in the first year hurt that first initial sales year for the Baja in general. So you've got all these things marked against the first year, which is never a good sign for a car. And then you just drag on the series. There's a couple minor improvements that they make to the Baja, but it only lasts until 2006. Again, 07 if you're counting the rebranded ones. And yeah, it's just there's nothing really propelling the line forward. It's dead in the water from the start, and it's flatlined all the way the rest of the way through. You also then further kick it in the pants with feeling outdated by having, in 2004, they released the next generation of the Outback and Legacy, which have curvier lines and fancier interior and better options and safety equipment and all this other stuff. So now you're really outdated. Now you're really just kind of, there's nowhere left to go for the Baja. There's no chance for a second generation of this car for anything to be revived. Honestly, 2006 was probably just, well, we have to try and recover the funds somehow. Let's try one more year of selling it. And it didn't work. Now, flash forward to now. This video is made in 2017. This car is about 11 years old. And resale value on these things is nuts. You'd think they were a hit back then. But I think what helps some of that resale is that you can't find them very much because the people that do have them hang on to them. And the people that sell them are asking stupid, crazy numbers for this. Okay, so an 06 Baja Turbo automatic, just like the one I'm driving, you can find a new one for anywhere between a modest $11,000 and $13,000. Considering that this car sold new in 2006 for about $24,000, $26,000, you're getting almost half of your money back after over a 10-year period with over 100,000 miles on the clock. That's stupid. That's insane. That's one hell of a resale value on the car. That's better than the coveted Jeep Wranglers and WRXs and STIs for resale value. And it's a Baja. It's a little Outback truck thing. But people love them. I love mine. This is a lot of fun to drive. And I think it's okay now because you know it's old. You know it's going to be plasticky and outdated and such. You don't really care. You bought it because it was quirky and cool and weird, or maybe you needed a small farm truck or something to do some light duty work with. It's a great car for that. But at the time, when styling and features and all these new things propelling new cars, it didn't sell well as a new car. It sells well as a used car because you don't care about those things when you're getting a used car. So I think that's why the Baja didn't do well then and is kind of having a bit of a renaissance now. It's doing well now. So if you've got your own theories on it, if you agree, disagree, that's fine. Leave me some comments, give me some insight. I'd love to learn more about what people think about why the Baja didn't do well or why it didn't sell. But I feel like I hit most of the stuff on the head with it. So leave a comment and leave a like, give a subscribe. I'll have more stuff as I change some things up on my little Baja. But yeah, see you guys around.